Good evening and welcome to Speaker Club Saturday night number 105. Conversation puzzles. I've always believed that communication is an art, well beyond the science which talks about the rules of the game, the science, the pieces of the puzzle which everyone knows that this fits here, this is what is right, this is what is wrong. But that's just a little bit, that's just a bit of what is communication. Beyond that element of science of communication is the real art, and that's where the power lies, because at the depth of communication lies a power to influence and impact the world. And when it comes to conversations that we have with people, each one of us is an artist. But the challenge is we are all artists who have or depict modern art, which more than what the world thinks, we ourselves do not have a clear picture of what it resembles. And that's where today's session has been designed with some of the conversation puzzles that we have. When I say puzzle, the problem is not that there's no clarity from your end. The problem is of how it lands in the other person's mind, in the other person's thoughts, and how we are conversing with people. And that's where the challenge is. So we will be going through this session as part of 3 segments, wherein in each segment we will be having activities through which we can talk about what is it that we're learning, or what is a missing puzzle of where we are going wrong in our conversations, which can be improved with the debrief which will happen after the activity. So let's jump right into the session for today. I see no new participants, so I'm not going about introduction of the Speak Up Club, but I'm also disappointed with the fact that there are no new participants. It means you're being selfish. You're not inviting people to join the session. You want to keep it all to yourself, which is not a good sign. So I would request each one of you all to talk to your friends, put the event poster which comes up on the Saturday on your status, in your Instagram, wherever it is, and invite people. The bigger the community, I know the lesser chance for you, but the important thing is it adds another perspective. It adds another dimension to what we are discussing over here, and that is where each one of us will grow as individuals. So I know already how Madhu is going to speak, or what Lakshmi is going to say, or what Akanksha is saying, or how Subbu reacts when someone new comes up. That's where the challenge is. Are we getting them right? Do we have the power, or do we have the skill to understand them, or to talk to strangers, to know how they think and what they are offering? That's where the beauty of the platform will be when we keep having more people joining in. So I would request each one of you all to invite or talk to people who you feel are like-minded and invite them to the platform. That is how we'll grow. And I'm not too worried about the numbers or the extent of how many people we want on the platform. It's just that if we keep having new people, we get new perspectives, we get to know people, and that's how our network builds. With that, let's get into the first segment of today's meeting. This segment, which I call the power of little. How many of you all have had instances where you have had conversations with people wherein the reply is little? Where the reply is either a silence or the reply is little. Wherein, when it's little, there's a huge scope for interpretation of it in multiple ways. So here, what we'll be doing is that I will be sharing a context with you all. I'll be picking up people who can respond. I'll be sharing a context with you all, and I'll be sharing the reply which comes to that context. And I want you to respond. What do you think of it? I want you to respond. What do you think of that message? Okay. So let's get going with the first activity. And Uma ma'am, whenever you're ready, you can chat me. I understand you're a little occupied today. Let's get going with the first person today. Let's have Ellen. Ellen, you're married?
Yes.
Wonderful. The topic first thing for you is the context is you've had a fight with your wife where there's been a heated discussion, and at the end of it, you have got what you want. And are you fine is what you ask your wife, and you get the answer, okay.
Yeah,
what does that mean?
Yeah, Actually, my wife, she will explain me a lot. I will say, okay. But,
however it is. So what does your wife think when you say okay?
Okay, what she can't actually. If I started talking, I know I will speak more than 1 hour for explanation. So some of times she will tell, okay, the mistake is my side, like that also. Even though I know actually my side mistake also, she will compromise. Okay, let it be there. Okay, like that. Nowadays she using much actually. Reason I have some lot of office issue, even she know. So that's the reason she will say, okay, whatever happening, it let it be there. I will give some time to you, so you can think and talk, like that. She will nowadays actually this is exactly you asked. Last 15 days it's happening. I have some tight schedule, so whatever. Just some of the days I both are same home. I will feel she is somewhere else. Reason before she is getting up, I will into office again. I will come and sleep. She will wake up or something has happened. Actually, past 15 days. Now from yesterday, I'm somewhat normal, I can tell. So that time she will used to say a lot of okay. So that's why I really exactly asked.
Now the twist to it is that okay is in capital.
Then actually the stress or something where she is telling actually how we can say that is not normal okay. That okay, adjusting okay I can tell, and angry okay I can tell. Adjust and angry I can tell. Reason actually it will be actually more issue will happen. Right. Actually, whatever that happen, something I started means she also at the time I need to adjust. I'm not spending time with family or something like that. So that time they will say, and that slang itself we come to know how they're telling okay. It's not normal smiling okay or angry okay, like that. How that emoji will be there, like that okay I used to get. Yeah, even though we need to keep going on, right? Actually, she is adjusting a lot. So that's the reason I am somewhat managing.
Interesting. Thank you, Lakshmi. Akansha, you want to go next?
No, sir. But to answer that, one thing I've learned is that how are you? Okay works. Are you fine? Okay means danger. The answer is supposed to be yes, because it's a yes or no question. Are you
No,
fine?
that's okay.
Yes.
Akansha, we are not getting into specifics of context and situations. The reason for this activity, like I mentioned, the power of little. We have instances, and I'm just referring to this as a chat response right now. Okay, with that in context, I'm just talking of communication. I'm not dealing with solving problems. I'm not here with talking about how we can improve that quality of okay, but the point that okay is there and what are you making out of it. Okay,
yeah, that actually like the sorry
yes, go ahead.
If I interrupt, that okay is there, it is helpful actually. Reason that conversation we will think something, we'll talk because of that okay, everything will be okay. Or else it will lead to some other 2 or 3 days we will not talk. Already I have a lot of pressure. Again, this is also add-on pressure. So that okay actually worked for me.
Interesting. Thank you. So there are different perspectives on how this is perceived and what do you do after that. Thank you, Ellen, for that. Madhu. The context for you is that you went into your boss's cabin and you had a heated argument, and you came back to your desk and you wanted to send a message to your good colleague or good friend who's there. Instead of sending it to them, you sent it in the group chat of the company and you wrote, "He is such a pain. He is such a pain."
Okay.
What do you do after that?
First of all, if it is possible, I will delete the comment.
No, it's not WhatsApp. It's not WhatsApp. No delete for all.
No, that's I mean, it happens to no. I mean, maybe
no. 1 minute, Madhu. There's a twist to it. The point is, you are the boss and you are seeing this. What do you do now?
Oh. First of all, one thing, I mean, very honestly, recent times I learned one thing. Whenever any good criticize or any good comment on us back to us, something is really true, immediately it hurts. It definitely hurts. But by the time, maybe after 1 day or 2 days, it really helps. No one can help us. But that time, earlier I used to react. But nowadays I'll make joke on that, so that it makes the conversation will be like easy. Arey yaar, he's taking very cool. But inside me, somewhere, some part, I can say somewhere I feel something. Arey yaar, backside to me, this guy is thinking like that, something like that. Then I feel like, why he thinking like that? So maybe, I am wrong, that because I surprised, he sent a message like this, means his inner feeling or thought, whatever. So that feel will come, but definitely that really helps me to correct myself. But I also feel one more thing. Okay, I should not, how he did, maybe I should be, very careful when I'm doing something like that. Yeah,
Thank
that's
you.
it.
Okay. Thank you, Madhu. Interesting. Uma ma'am, would you like to take one? Okay. So the context for you is you're getting married, and everyone is coming for the reception. On the stage, the mother-in-law comes and wishes the husband congratulations, and she comes to you and wishes you all the best. She wishes your husband congratulations, and she turns to you and tells you all the best. What do you make of it?
Maybe you have to manage him, something like that. I have given him to you. It is up to you to manage him. That is the message I get. No, it is up to you. Let me see how you manage him, or something like that, in a cynical way. That's the impression I get.
And what do you do after that?
I can't get back now, so I'll say let me try my best. I have jumped.
Ma'am, you got on mute. Yeah.
So I'll just go with it. I can take it positively also. I told the negative side of it. So I can take it positively also, saying, yes, you have got a good husband. Go along with him and enjoy your life. I can take it both ways.
Interesting. Thank you, ma'am. That's what I think over at least 25 years of marriage does to you. That's how you start thinking. That's because you have had the experience and you can talk only from that perspective. Thank you, ma'am. Subbu.
Yes, Rahul.
Your ex-girlfriend broke up with someone, her current boyfriend, and she messages you. Can we talk?
No.
Can we talk is a message. What do you make of it and what are you going to do?
What to say?
I hope your wife is not around.
Yes. Simply, I can say yes. Okay. But the whatever, I mean, the feelings we have in the earlier, after marriage, is something different now. Okay, I can understand somewhat. I mean, they haven't really challenges any kind of things. I'm to help that as a family member, not like earlier boyfriend or something like that. That is what I'm my opinion.
Interesting. Shreya. The context for you is you are doing something new, you are experimenting with something, and it backfired. After that, your mom messaged you. I told you. I told you. I can't hear you, Shreya. I'm not sure why. You're unmuted, but I can't hear you.
Now am I audible?
Yes, audible. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. First reaction will be घर आने बाद फटने वाली है. I need to solve the problem before she comes home, and I need to clean the stuff, and I need to clean the mess what I did, and should not do it again.
What does that mean when your mother says, I told you?
It's an angry way. She told me to not do that specific experiment, and she knows that it will backfire, but I did it, it backfired.
Interesting. Akanksha.
Yes, sir.
You poured your feelings to your mother or your father in a big, long letter or a post. And after that, your mother says, is what she says. What do you make of it?
I'll just reply with more the MMM, add more M's to that and reply.
What does that mean?
That she basically did not get the point of the whole text.
Okay. Anything else?
I would, ask her, did you even understand? Or do I try to repeat myself? Do you want me to call you or try to explain better? Or what do I make out of that? I would ask herself rather than assuming something myself.
Interesting. Okay. Who else is left? We have one more topic for this. Rashmi or Sri Krishna, would you like to participate? Hi, Navneet. Good to see you here.
Good evening to everyone.
Good evening, Navneet. Yeah, I think you're joining us for the first time. So just to put in context,
Yes.
Speak Up Club is not a Toastmasters club. It's a private initiative, and we meet every Saturday at 9 p.m. and discuss on various life skills. So right now what we're doing is that there's something called as power of little, wherein when people converse, when they revert or they reply in a very short message, or they send a very small message, which can mean a lot of things. And we are talking of a context and how would you make sense of what has been said. So I'll give you a context. So are you okay?
Yes, please go ahead.
Perfect. Okay. So you have gone for an interview for a new company, and they have agreed to give you a 25% hike. You came back to your company, and your company agreed to match that hike. And you're getting a message from the other company, any update? How would you revert?
Wait for a while.
Anything else?
We'll meet tomorrow.
Okay, interesting. Okay, I'll take that. Thank you. That's an interesting revert, I would say. And I'll wait for that tomorrow to see what we do when we meet. Okay, hi, AJ, how are you? Good to see you here. AJ,
I'm fine, sir. How are you?
Okay, what we're doing is we are giving a topic to people based on what you see. How are you going to revert? How are you going to reply? You have a friend. Who has mental health challenges. He replies, suddenly one day he sends a message to you. I am done. I am done. How do you revert?
So, at first, I'll call him directly to know the consequences, because only if I send them to message, then we will not able to understand the emotion behind this message. That's why we should understand. We should call him directly and speak with him, so that I can remove the negative blockage from his mind, so that positive vibes come and something can be good things can be happened with him.
Interesting. Thank you, AJ. I think that was an interesting perspective. I know earlier everyone was laughing with the topics because they were on a lighter note, but with AJ, I gave a little sensitive topic. That brings us to the end of this first segment of today's meeting, which was about power of little. When we talk of communication, the biggest challenge, either we as sender or we as receiver, whenever there's little, always remember there's a lot to imply out of it, whether it's that okay or that or no response, or the message which I said, I'm done, or any update. These are all messages where we are talking about how there's only little said. And so that's a big challenge. And we do not have to also go on the other extreme where we are explaining everything, which is one thing here is when it comes to the conversation puzzle about little. Over here today, AJ mentioning pick up the call, understand more, or Akanksha doing the same thing with asking what do you mean by it. Lakshmi, when that normal O was there and a capital O was there, understanding in a different way. The point is, when we are expected to speak, we often remain silent and assume. On the contrary, also the fact, when we are expected to stay silent, we keep speaking. And it's your wisdom to choose where what is required and how much is required. If at all, silence is a choice, all I would say is make it a conscious choice. Do not let it be a default choice. Because many times when you come across messages, just because we do not understand it, we make sure or we go on to a step where we do not respond, or we do not speak more, we do not tell more, or we do not ask more on the other side of the story. The point is, if at all you feel silence is better there, make that silence as a conscious choice, not because you don't know what to do. If you're acting as I don't know what to do, there silence becomes a choice by default. That was about the power of little. Make sure what it means and what all it could mean. Let's go on to the next activity that we have for today, the power of action. I have this interesting activity where I want the participant will be disconnecting the audio. Will be disconnecting the audio on their Zoom right now. They won't be able to listen to what the conversation is happening, but they will be seeing two people conversing. I'll tell who the two people are, and the one person goes out of the meeting audio and just see. After 30-minute conversation, I would request you to come back and join the meeting audio again. Can I request each one of you all to check out the mute button, wherein you have an option of leave computer audio. Can you click on that and join the computer audio, join again? I just want to check if you're able to do that or not. So you will be connecting to the audio while you got the meeting. You saw how you connected to the audio. Perfect. So if you're able to do that, I would request the first person to do this. I would want Uma ma'am.
Yeah, I was not able to do it.
Okay, we'll have a conversation with you and we'll have activity with other persons. Okay, no issues. So AJ, you able to do that?
I couldn't understand the point, sir.
If you click on are you on the mobile or laptop?
Laptop.
Okay, so where you see the option of mute button, if you click on the up arrow beside that, you'll see leave audio. So the point is, when I ask you to leave the
computer audio.
Yeah, leave computer audio. Don't do that now. When I ask you to do that, I'll tell who are having a conversation here. You just have to observe those two people, and when I show you the sign like this, you join the audio again, and I'll be asking a question to you. Okay? Clear with that? Okay. So the first two people that I want to have a conversation, everyone is clear. Just see the first one, and you'll get to know what is happening. I want two people, Madhu and Shreya. Madhu is a parent and Shreya is a child, and her exams are going on. The context is this. Madhu is going to
repeat the context.
Yes. Okay, the context is Madhu is a parent and Shreya is a child who is going through exams. Yes. So they are going to have a conversation about why Shreya needs to study more or focus on her studies.
Exactly, this happened last week with my father.
Perfect. I can't get your father here. So we have AJ who will be going out of the audio and just observing Shreya and Madhu. I'm just spotlighting Madhu and Shreya. AJ, you can see them?
Yes.
I'm just adding two people. So you just have to observe while these two people have the conversation. And when I say like this, join back with the audio. Okay?
Okay.
Perfect. So you can disconnect the audio now. And Madhu and Shreya, Madhu, you're very angry that Shreya is not studying. I want you to have a 30-second conversation with her, and then we'll have AJ joining in again. AJ? Okay, you both can have a conversation now. Madhu?
Yeah.
He got angry and went away.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay. Shreya, this is the not a right way. You're right now, whatever you're studying. do you think your public exams is going to come twice or three times? It's
But-
only one time, right? Only one time, right? But the
Yes.
way you are putting your efforts is not good, right? Do you want lower grade or best grade? And when you go out with your friends, how they're talking and just say, oh, no, she's failed in one subject or got only 8% or only 9.2%. Are you feeling happy that time?
No,
Then
no.
why
Dad.
you're not putting efforts? Why you're not putting efforts?
From morning till evening, I was studying and I went to tuition. After
But at the
coming
same time,
home,
from morning to evening, when you are watching the mobile, you're not that tired. Why?
only
Focus
for
on
20
studies. Only
minutes. Can't I
focus on
have a
studies. Focus on studies. Only 7 exams or 6 exams you have, right? Put your efforts only this month. Later, once you completed your exams, it will be fine, right? Focus on studies.
Yes,
Don't distract with yourself.
I
Are
did
you
my
getting it?
revisions
Are you
twice.
getting it or not?
I did my revision twice. Do you want me to do it again?
No, but are you confident? Are you going to get?
Thank
I
you.
am
Thank
confident.
you. Thank you, Shreya and Madhu. Now, I'll just add 1 second. AJ, are you back?
Yes.
Perfect. So AJ, the question that I want to ask you is that they had a conversation about Madhu being the father and Shreya being the child, and she's not studying. What did you observe from Madhu's way of speaking?
Yes. Which I observed that when he was speaking to his daughter Madhu, then he was not that much serious about that. He was speaking, he was just advising, and she is not taking it carefully. She is smiling sometime. It means she is not taking as a father, and he is also is not able to control her actually as a daughter. And if she is not studying properly, then when his father is scolding her or anything, she should feel some shamed or anything, or uh, her face should be a little bit gloomy, so that I can understand it's happening, something happening here. So I just observed this thing. I don't know anything about it.
That's okay. Thank you. Thank you. So the point that we're discussing over here, 1 second. Yeah. The point that we're discussing over here is the fact of how all of y'all who were there in the meeting room saw Madhu. I know it's not a real situation where the bond isn't there, and Shreya being a daughter, I'm not sure whether the conversation that she had with her father was with the same smiling face. But the fact is, without listening to what Madhu was saying, look at the perception that AJ got. He was not stern. He was smiling. That could be, I understand the smile part of it could be as a reaction to Shreya because she's not a daughter. But the point is, look at your conversations and look at how your body language, your facial gestures, and the hand movements and everything that you're speaking alongside what you're saying, is it matching? Let's have one more conversation. Ellen, are you okay with going out? I'm coming there. Ellen, are you okay?
Yeah,
So,
okay,
okay, the
okay.
context here is, the next context is AJ is a student, and we have Subbu, who's a class teacher, and AJ is a naughty boy. He's not allowing the class to happen in a normal way. Let's see how Subbu deals with AJ. Ellen, please see this sign, otherwise I'll have to call you to please come into the meeting.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you can leave the audio now.
Yeah, done.
And Subbu, sorry, yes, Subbu, 1 second, and AJ. Perfect, you can begin the conversation now.
Hey, Lakshmi Narayana.
No, you're talking to AJ.
AJ.
Hey, AJ.
Yes, sir.
I could see from the last 2 days, you're not focusing on the classes. Okay, looks like you're disturbed and we are focusing on different way. So may I know what could be the reason for this? I'm trying to find that and trying to help you out on that.
Sorry, sir. Actually, I don't want to do this thing, but sometimes because of friends or anything, sir, this happens.
Okay, that might be the
Please.
age effort, but it's always good to focus your goals and efforts here. This is the age we get time to earn more. I mean, this is the age we're trying to get more and more. This is the time to grow yourself, right? Okay, bygones are bygones. Try to focus it right now. And if you need any help, let me know. I can help you out how to come out on that.
Okay, sir. Thank you. I'll do in next time, sir.
Sure.
Thank you.
Welcome back, Ellen. So with regard to the facial expressions or the body language of what you see, what you have seen in this conversation between Subbu and AJ, what do you feel?
Yeah, actually, I feel that is not a very difficult conversation. It's normal. Only reason is facial expression, Subbu expression. He's like normally he's scolding or something like that. He's telling actually I'm teaching here. You're not seeing anything. So just you are sitting and talking to someone. So you need to concentrate there. This is your studies like that. He is scolding normally. If I am there, my facial expression only you come to know what you are doing like that. He's getting scared again. AJ also, yeah, and I seen lot of stuffs. You are also one. So nothing going to happen. So let it be there. Okay, your period up to another 15 minutes. I'm again waiting for you. Like that I thought.
Interesting. Thank you, Ellen. Now you were not, you didn't listen to the conversation. From AJ's words, from what he expressed, I could see a kind of a guilt. I could see that feeling that he's sorry about it and you'd like to update or he would like to change for the better. And from Subbu's approach, I saw that good teacher who wanted to understand. See, there's no right or wrong approach over here. The point that we're focusing is what we are trying to speak, the words, is that in sync with the way we are expressing ourselves, with our facial gestures. I saw AJ when he was sorry for it, I could see his expression. I could see that he's really sorry. There could be another sorry where, okay, I'm sorry. I won't repeat it next time. That's another sorry. Look at how your facial expressions or your body language or the emotion, I'm not talking of emotion, we'll come to that next. So see how it is supporting. Let's have one more conversation on this topic and then move to the next idea. Who would like to be the silent observer? Navneet? Okay, you're able to leave the audio?
No, because I'm using Bluetooth, I just take it out from my ear.
Okay. Then I would suggest I would take someone else. Srilakshmi, Akanksha, you can come on video, please.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Akanksha on video, and you know how to go out and come in, right? So the context is we have a traffic police. Where are you, Akanksha? Okay, we have a traffic police who's caught a person who's driving who's below 18. And the traffic police officer is Uma ma'am, and the person who's caught is Madhu. Clear context?
Yes, sir.
Uma ma'am, okay? Uma ma'am, you're on.
Yes.
We can't hear you.
Yeah, you're able to hear me?
Akanksha, leave. Start.
Hey, stop there. Where is your helmet? Stop.
I
Get
don't
out,
have any
get out.
hair, ma'am. Why should I wear a helmet?
Don't you know the rules? Huh? Don't come on, take out your license also. First of
Madam,
all,
who is following rules, madam? Who is following rules? You are also not following rules.
no, we follow the rules. See, I have the meter in front of me. I have the meter. I will give you the chit also. And
Madam, come out of the camera, ma'am. I'll give the tip.
No, I'm a very
No, I'm
honest.
in hurry, madam. Please, I'm in hurry, madam.
Please come here. Constable, bring him to the side.
Madam, tell me, madam, what I have to do right now to leave.
You have to
tell me what.
to the side. No arguments.
Madam,
See?
please, madam, I'm in hurry, madam, please.
No, I can't accept this. You please pay the fine and then you can leave.
Madam,
See, not wearing helmet, 500 rupees. You're not taking the license, another 500. Okay, then the
madam, I
third,
don't have that much money, madam.
totally 1,000 rupees.
No,
Please
madam,
give,
very poor, madam. Only 90 rupees I have, madam. Please, madam.
take all that. You can leave your vehicle, give the 1,000 rupees, and then you come and collect your vehicle. Okay.
Akanksha,
Yes, sir.
what kind of a person is Madhu?
One who's trying to make excuses out of the despite the fact that he was wrong, he was trying to make excuses that no, I don't want to pay the fine. You could just forgive me, sort of.
And what kind of a police officer was Uma ma'am?
A strict one. One who's trying to tell you that you are wrong and one who's asking you for the fine.
What made you think she was strict?
Her gestures that she did, and her facial expression being a little angry, and the usage of her hands to show that you shouldn't have done that, sort of.
Interesting. Thank you, Akanksha. From everyone else's observation, what do you feel? Akanksha could not hear what they were speaking. Do you feel Uma ma'am's or Madhu's, whatever their stand was, whatever they were thinking, was it in sync? Was their body language and their non-verbal gestures in sync with what they were telling? What made you believe that along with what Uma ma'am is saying that you will have to pay the fine, what made you believe that she is showing the right signs apart from just saying things? Ellen, Vijaya?
Yeah, actually, our expressions and hand gestures and everything, right? Somewhat strict like that facial expression also. Even we know actually that the traffic police, how they will do it related to us. We daily basis we are doing. So the hand signal, again, the facial expression, we are come to know she is a strict officer. Again, Madhu is actually how the his reaction. So facial only we come to know he is actually pleasing to her, ma'am. Please actually. I need to go somewhere. Usually we'll tell the same thing. I don't have money. See my purse also. Something I used to do, I'll there. Same thing.
Got it. Thank you. Vijaya?
हेलो
बोलो.
सेम मुझे भी लगा कि मैं अगर न्यूज भी सुनती ना तो समझ में आ रहा था कि वो एक ब्राइब देने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं और दूसरे जो है ना वो बहुत स्ट्रिक्ट है एंड बेंगलोर की पुलिस ऐसे ही स्ट्रिक्ट है तो दे आर बिहेविंग लाइक दैट ओनली. Uma ma'am.
Interesting.
Was I right?
Yes, Akanksha.
Was I right?
Yeah, there's no right or wrong here from what you're just perceiving. Maybe you can look at the recording later to see what they were actually having a conversation about, and that will be a good learning whether you are a good judge, not about what was actually happening, but whether you're a good judge, because there will be instances where people do not have the right body language, and if you're looking at them from the far, you might misjudge them for what they're doing. Someone who isn't polished or doesn't come from a very good school or where they have been trained with body language and all that stuff, you would see someone shouting in the cabin and think that he's very rude. But the fact is, they could be just like that. And that's where the learning is when it comes to the power of non-verbal communication. When you are doing it, understand how your body language, facial expressions, gestures, hand movements, are they in sync with what you want to say or not? On the contrary, when it comes to understanding others, remember, people aren't that polished. You could be getting a wrong message based on how someone is smiling, based on how someone is showing anger or something like that. But they could be very soft. They could be having a pleasant approach and a good pleasing approach to the way things are. Some police officers or people who are traffic police are there who look very strict. But if you apply the right strategy, I think they'll budge to what you are going to offer, even if it's 90 rupees. You never know. Don't look at that strong mustaches only. So with that, we come to the end of this segment, which the idea was about look at bringing about a sync in how you are using your body language and non-verbal gestures in what you're saying. Use this activity whenever I deliver speeches. I make sure there are segments of speeches where I make sure that I am not speaking, but I'm still speaking. So I make sure to put the video audio on mute and deliver the speech and then see the video if I'm able to get that message of what I wanted to deliver. So that's how you get fine-tuned with your body language, being in sync with what message you want to give. With that, let's get on to the last point, or the last power that we have, which is the power of emotion. Every time you speak, there's always an emotion which is inside you in what you're speaking. So the context here, the activity that we're going to have is very simple. I'm going to give you a situation, you're going to speak, and then I'll give you an emotion which is there inside you and speak about the same thing. Getting my point? Assume that you are having that emotion at that point in time and then speak again. Please make it short. We'll be having it for 15 seconds on the first shot and then again 15 seconds with that emotion which is there inside you, and you'll be speaking with that. Clear, everyone? Clear? Perfect. Let's get going. Who will come first? Akanksha?
Sure, sir.
Okay, the first, you're going to your parents with your report card which reads 90%. How will you say it to them?
I've scored 90%, though it's not the perfect 100%. I'm still satisfied with what I got. 90% is still a very good grade, so I'm happy with what I got.
Okay. The inside feeling that you have is you were expecting 80% and you got 90%. Now go and tell it to your parents.
I've got 90%. Isn't that wonderful? I just expected 80% and I got a 90%. That's a lot. So I'm very happy about it.
One more added context, because you are speaking, your parents were expecting 95%.
See, I know you're expecting 95%, but I expected 85% and I got 90%. So 80% and I got 90%. So it's a balance between both of us. I'm happy with what I got. And I think you should, kind of try to adjust, because I thought I did bad, but I did well.
Thank you. Same 90%. Look at not just the content of what is being spoken, but the emotion which is in play while she was telling in the first place, where she said 95 didn't come or 100 didn't come, but 90 was okay. In the second place, where she got 90 while expecting 80, and in the third, where the receiver's expectations were put in, where that fear that you were expecting 95 and I got 90. Look at how it was delivered in these three contexts, how the emotion came into what and how it was being said. Next, hi Muskan, good to see you here. Subbu. One of your project backfired. It didn't work out the way it should have, like you had promised to your boss. Go and tell it to your boss.
Okay. So you're my boss now?
Yes, I'm your boss.
Okay. Rahul, last week we went to the live in one of the application. I could see some kind of defect there. Maybe we need to take some time to fix that bug. So we need the kind of approval from you.
Got it. The context setting over here, it's a calculated risk. Everyone knew it could work. It may not work. Now go talk to your boss.
Okay. Rahul, the kind of issue what we expected in the lower enrollment as well. Okay. So the same kind of issue we are getting it here. So since it's unfortunately in the post-production validation, so we need the kind of team support here to quick fix the issue.
Interesting. Thank you. Thank you, Subbu. Now look at the first instance where the narrative was, I'm sorry. And the second instance where the emotion which was, this could have happened and it's okay. So the way he spoke in both these contexts, based on the emotion that was there driving within, change the approach in the way you're speaking. not about voice modulation or the content, but the narrative you're creating in both these situations while you have an underlying difference in emotion. Let's move on to the next person. Uma,
Yeah.
you came first in the class and you are telling it to your best friend.
Hey, Deepa, I got first in the class. I'm so happy. I wanted to tell it to you first. Are you happy? I'm very excited.
Context. Deepa failed that exam.
Deepa, I'm so sad to hear this. I wish at least you could have got 35 marks and passed. I'm happy to say that I have got first, but I would have been more happy if you also would have passed. I really wish. I'm not able to enjoy my happiness fully. I wish you could have passed. Really.
Thank you, Uma ma'am. Very well done. The only change I would have possibly is while you're talking to someone who's grieving with regard to not passing, I won't even mention the good thing about me unless the friend asks you, what about your result? And then you mention it, it is okay. So just a context setting, again, there's no right or wrong over here, just telling very well done with regard to your emotion. I hope everyone of you all saw how when the first time she was excited to tell her friend, Deepa, I came first. I'm so happy to share it with you. Look at the voice. Look at the emotion which was driving the way she was speaking and the way it was delivered. And exactly on the other side of the story, where the pain in her voice, when she focused on that she didn't get through. You could have alternatively had, Deepa, I came first in the exam. I'm happy. Deepa, I'm sorry that you failed. The depth of your communication comes from the variety which is primarily driven by the emotion that you have. We'll have one more and then we'll close for today. Muskan, you want to participate? Muskurate hue karna.
I'll try to.
Okay, try. A guy proposed to you.
You found me only.
अभी आपकी मुस्कुराहट देख के मुझे लगा कि ये ट्राई करते हैं. A guy proposed to you. Go and tell your friend that you're very happy that he proposed.
Okay, I can assume any situation. The guy could be anyone.
अभी वो अरे क्यों assume क्यों करना है भाई? नहीं है वो कैरेक्टर. जाके फ्रेंड को बोलने को बोल रहा हूँ उसमें कैरेक्टर.
No, I can make a background story that he is someone I know already. Okay.
Go ahead, quick.
Okay, do my best friend, right?
Yes.
Okay.
आकांक्षा मत बोलना बस.
I'm not naming anyone.
Go ahead.
Hey, you know what? Just today, he proposed me. I was like expecting it from so long, and he proposed me today. I am so happy. We are now in a relationship. At last, we are now in a relationship.
Context. That friend always loved him, and she was waiting for him.
I didn't get you.
The context. The friend whom you went and told. She loved him, and she was waiting for him to propose her.
Okay, this is sad. I would have rejected him first of all if I knew.
You didn't know. Or you knew, but it was not said out. And it just happened that that guy came to you and proposed.
Okay. I have a news for you. I don't know how you'll react to it, but
I think that friend is gone. Muskan is gone. I think we'll just wait for a second if she comes back. Otherwise, yes, Muskan, you got disconnected. Go ahead.
Yeah, it was a network. Hey, I have a news for you today that this guy proposed me today, and I have kept kept him on hold. I don't know what should I reply. I was so shocked that time. Sorry, I failed.
That's okay. That's okay. I think Muskan, you should go and revert to the last week's session, difficult conversations, to see how you want to take this forward. Thank you, Muskan. I think that was
Sorry
fun.
for this bluff.
That's okay. That's okay. So the idea behind all this was fun. Plus, the idea is look at how your emotion, the underlying emotion that you have, drives your conversation's impactness. Remember, the underlying emotion has to come throughout, and that is what will make the conversation deeper and impactful. The question is conversations and communication limited to your words or how you are putting it across? That may not always be that impactful as much as the energy that comes into that conversation driven by your emotion, because that is where people connect. As humans, it would have been easier if it was just about words and the choice of sentences and the way you are putting across the message. You could have written a blog, you could write. But the fact is, while we are conversing, we have the power to use the emotion to drive that message across impactfully. So on both sides, the good, fear, whatever be the emotion, the fear part of it, the happy part of it, sad part of it, anger, disgust, whatever expression or emotion that you have, make sure that is coming through in a right way, intended emotion. I'm saying sometimes you might not want all your anger or anguish or anxiety that you have to come across at the wrong place. You can't be telling it the same way to your boss or to your parent or your teacher. You have different contexts. The thing is, for it to be impactful, have the emotion, and more importantly, be aware of what emotion is your conversation driving. If you're aware of that, you will be in charge of the impact that you want to have. Else, you could see a lot of instances during the session where we had a conversation, but because there was no driving emotion behind it, it will not leave an impact. So, two things in this power of emotion segment of today. Use your emotion to make your conversation impactful. Be aware of what emotion is going through while you are having that conversation. Because whatever be the emotion, are you in charge of that or not? The awareness comes first, and then you take charge of whether this is how I want to put it across is what matters. That will help you in deciding, because the same conversation that you have with your parent, with your friend, with your child, with your teacher, with your boss, the emotion which will be driving that conversation will change. You need to sometimes reserve it. You need to sometimes have it full on, but you will have to be in charge of that emotion, of how much of that emotion is flowing into your conversation. With that, the three segments of today's meeting: the power of little, wherein it can mean anything, is what you have to be in charge. The power of the body language or non-verbal communication, how is it impacting your conversations? And finally, the power of emotions. Are you able to leverage on emotions to get deeper and put across your message in the way you wish to and leave the impact of exactly what you want it to land? With that, I come to an end of my segment. I hope each one of you all had fun today with the kind of activities that we had, and more importantly, hopefully you have had the takeaways which you can start working on implementing over the next 1 week. I would listen to the reflections that you have in the next week. I hope whatever context or situations that I've given are not real, but yet you have similar instances in your real life where you can utilize the benefit of these powers that you have, the puzzle which you have, to keep it in the right way and get it right. I leave it open now for any feedback or any thoughts or any questions that you have before we close in the next 3 to 4 minutes. Open now. Akanksha, go ahead.
Yes, so the last two segments, the second and third segments, I think are going to be very useful, because in this world where we are basically texting each other, and 3 dots means you're thinking, capital letters means you're angry, a keyboard smash means you're screaming, or like there are so many things that you need to keep in mind. just like, and so it was refreshing to see something live happening, because it's not always going to be just texting capital letters and all. It's going to be about the emotions, the body language, and how it's being perceived. So I think both the activities and the context being that were shared being of a very wide range, not just sticking to a child, but a parent, a boss, a teacher, a traffic police, and so many other things. I think these various ideas, the context that were shared, were gave an opportunity to learn more about different situations and different conversations that we could possibly have. So I think this is a very useful session. So thank you so much, and thank you everyone who participated and added the fun part of it as well as the learning.
Thank you, Akanksha. Muskan.
Yes.
वहां कौन था और किसको ऐसे घूर के नजरें दिखा रहे थे? That is a part of the communication which you're doing. Others might not have observed, but I did. So I'm just see how मैं यहाँ हैदराबाद में बैठे बैठे भी मुंबई की नस पकड़ रहा हूँ. That is what happens with cameras on. Luckily, we are in a virtual space where you have a choice of switching off your cameras, but the fact is,
that was accidental. Sorry to say, that was accidental. They are neighbor kids.
Accidents happen, and your reactions don't tell me whether it was your neighbor or whether you're screaming at someone. The point is, we are at every point in time communicating, and someone standing far off who cannot listen to what we are saying can see what you are doing, can feel the emotion which you are expressing. So please make sure you are in charge of what you're doing. I'm not making you robots, but all I'm saying is that once you become conscious, as you progress, you'll realize how to present yourself in a way in which you are in control of what you're communicating at every point in time, not just while you are speaking. Anyone else, any other feedback? Muskan ko to live feedback mil gayi, uski Muskan ruk gayi. Ajay, go ahead. Go ahead, Ajay.
Yes, sir. Which I learned from this session that emotion is really required if you want to deliver any kind of speech, because sometimes it happens you are going to a party but you just send your friend message that I am really sorry that's why you are not able to join, but actually you are not sorry, because when you speak to him then he can understand are you really sorry or not. Otherwise text is nothing. We can't depend on the text, and because of this text we are able to spoil our relationship with our relatives, because they are not able to actual meaning of the text, because we can assume anything in a sentences in this way that yes you are good, yes you are good. There are two things. How I can understand without conversing with a person that what they actually mean. That's why emotion and is really required on any speech.
Wonderful. Thank you, Ajay. I think that was a significant point. When I talked about today's session about conversation puzzles, the idea is that we are losing on this charm which is there in conversations because we are limiting ourselves to the WhatsApp chatting or emails or conversations which do not have an opportunity for us to express beyond the words that we're choosing. So please make sure that you are consciously in this phase where you are interacting with people and utilizing the benefit of the non-verbal communication and the emotions to the best of your possibility. Akanksha, go ahead, quick.
Sir, a question. While we are having a conversation, are the body language and the emotions going to be unconscious attempts, or should they be conscious? And if they are going to be conscious, how to make them, conscious attempts? Because when you're angry, you automatically make angry faces. So that happens unconsciously. So how to make conscious attempts in maintaining the emotion and also a balance or equilibrium state about yourself?
Wonderful question. I would revert back to the session that we had on habits. When it comes to habits or the power that we have in this unconscious behavior patterns with regard to the body language or the expressions or these emotions that we try to exhibit, there are a lot of things which are unconscious. The first step is to become aware of what you're doing unconsciously. Second is to use the power of 5%, which is the conscious power that you have to change things. So whenever you're angry or whenever you're having your body language revert to the equilibrium which is wrong right now, you can consciously attempt to make sure, and it's a process, it won't happen overnight. It's a process through which you consciously make sure that you are getting it right based on what you feel it should be. It's going to be a process where there will be a fight of getting back to the unconscious state, where it will try to drive you in the way you want to respond with your emotions or your body language or things like that. So just observe first place, and then use your conscious power gradually to get it right in the way you feel is, or the feedback that you get from the people around you is something which is right for what you want to express. Anger, I'm not saying it's bad, it has to be channelized. And the way you channelize is something which delivers what you want to even while you're angry. And that's a gradual process. Yes, thank you, Akanksha, for that wonderful question. Anyone else, any last question before we close for today? Anyone, any feedback for the session, anything? And I've opened up the Speaker Club WhatsApp group. Feel free to share your feedback over there. I would be happy to listen to your comments. Hopefully you all had fun. And as a part of fun, I hope you all had learning today, because this session was consciously thought of to create in a way where we all can engage, each one of us can participate and become a part of the session, and yet have certain segments where I know Muskan would feel sorry for her friend now, of how he will be having to tell her that I have the guy that you wanted, or instances where the policeman in Umamam came out, or some other people in whatever situations that you've experienced. Hope you all had fun, and yet the learning part of it came through for you. Looking forward to listen to the reflections that you have had from this session, the changes that you will be implementing, focusing on delivery part of it, of what all you have learned today in the next week's session, in the reflection segment, which happens at 9 o'clock. A lot of you all join by 9-10, but you miss out on the possibility of listening to what changes and how people have changed as a result of the learning from this week. So please join by 9 o'clock so that we can end by 10 o'clock, and it's 10:15 now. And I'll go about closing the session the usual way and then exit for today. For today, I might not stay back. So I'll leave the Zoom host with Akanksha, and you all can stay back to interact whoso wish to. Let me close the session the usual way. Saturday nights have never been this beautiful for the last 105 Saturday nights now. It's been an honor to be sharing our perspectives, listening to your perspectives, and gaining new perspectives. Thank you for the love that you keep coming back every Saturday night and adding life to our life and to every member of the Speaker Club family. See you next Saturday, 9 p.m. again, same place. Good night, everyone.